Well, I just got back from the RNC, and I agree with Van Jones on CNN. We haven't seen energy like this at an RNC convention since Obama in 2008. The people are excited, and you want to know why? Well, we have a lot to unpack here and beyond the headlines only on Vigilant News. This segment is sponsored by Done With Debt, the only debt relief solution for American patriots at donewithdebt.com. I'm Elijah Schaefer. Let's start the show. What an energetic week it was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the 2024 RNC, where Trump debuted with his family saying, "I will be your nominee." It's an exciting week after Trump was nearly assassinated and at the heels of a major cyber failure that many are suggesting is actually a cyber attack. Well, Breitbart reports that Van Jones, even on CNN, says, "I haven't been at the convention that felt like 2024 RNC since the 2008 DNC for Obama." Here's what Breitbart said. During CNN's RNC coverage on Thursday, CNN senior political commentator and former Obama advisor Van Jones stated that he hasn't been at a convention that felt like the 2024 RNC since the 2008 Democratic National Convention for President Barack Obama. After CNN senior political commentator and former Bush official Scott Jennings expressed his enthusiasm for the convention and joked around, including a few references to Hulk Hogan, Jones ended up remarking, and before we get into those remarks, I want to show you exactly that kind of positive energy that I was surprised we would even see at CNN because we're used to them being so negative. Listen.
Scott Jennings, there's a lot of anticipation, obviously, for the president tonight.
Yeah, this convention is energized. They are unified. They are defiant in some ways. They're optimistic. It's the first time we've been ahead since in the July of a presidential since the year 2000. It's been 24 years. And let me tell you something else. I've been saying this, Van and Axe know. This is a vibes election. We're always doing a vibe check. And let me just reassure the American people. One of our two major political parties is functioning properly. It's the Republican Party. And the vibes on the floor here are simply outrageous. And we're about to have a hell of a lot of fun because Hulkamania is about to run wild in Milwaukee. Anderson Cooper, what are you going to do when the largest arms in the world come out on this stage and ask all Americans to participate in our democracy? It's outrageous.
Yeah, it's exciting for everybody.
So Anderson, I want to know what's in Jennings' cup. Okay.
Well, what's in Jennings' cup is probably a lot of excitement and enthusiasm. It's like Democrats can't even imagine that Republicans could be excited about winning, even just for once. Now, like I mentioned, I was in Milwaukee the entire week, and you could feel the momentum building. Americans are sick of the open borders, the fentanyl crisis that has killed more Americans than even died in Iraq, Afghanistan combined. So this idea, the war is at home. It's on our soil. It's against our shadow government. And as they attempted to assassinate Trump, look, I'm a Republican, and there's a lot to still be wanted with Trump. I mean, I don't like how he calls himself the father of the COVID vaccine. I don't like that he printed trillions, technically, of dollars through the Federal Reserve as bailouts, which caused a lot of the inflation we're experiencing today. But I know deep down that Trump has a dedication to this country. He could be spending his money, living out his life as a billionaire, but instead he chooses to fight for us. Now, his nomination of J.D. Vance, I'd be curious to know what your guys' opinion is on that. Because J.D. Vance, on one hand, he has a love for the country. He's a bit of an isolationist. He has great economic prospect, but he also wants to increase immigration from what I've read. And, well, maybe because of his background business deals, he's open to continuing the war in Gaza and then increasing and expanding to a war with Iran. And I'm against those. I don't want to expand to any more imperialist, unnecessary wars. I want to get back to caring about our nation, our country, fighting for justice and liberty for all. But we'll wait and see. I'm hoping that Trump and Vance surprise us, but I'm backing them 100% because I know deep down, this is still the same guy that I was with in 2016, and we're going to win this vote and get into office. But don't put it past them. They have a lot of tricks up their sleeve. Now, as I mentioned, Van Jones was on the record, and I want to go here. I'm going to have to, get a little bit ahead here. He ended up talking about what was going on and why he felt that energy changing and shifting. But don't believe me. Listen to it for yourself. These are directly from his words. Listen.
It would be like an actual problem at the convention for the party. And that's one of the big issues that they're worried about.
Actual people or actual voters who had a chance to vote.
I'm talking about the delegates who are casting ballots. That's all I'm saying.
Actual Democratic black voters had a chance to pick Kamala Harris and pick Joe Biden. We skipped over Joe Biden as vice president to get to Hillary Clinton. So this is going to have to get worked out. And I think that the most important question is who can win? What combination can win? And I think that the case to be made for Kamala has to be a winnability argument. Yeah. It can't be a she's vice president, you got to give it to her. That didn't work for Joe Biden. Joe Biden got passed over for Hillary. It can't be if you don't like her, if you don't go with her, it's because you're a racist or a sexist. Or if you don't like Josh Shapiro, it's because you're anti-Semitic. We got to have an honest conversation about who can win.
Guys,
yeah, but like, can I just make? Let me make one point though. Well, it's our little thing.
I know we're at the Democrat convention.
Abby said the debate is between whether we have the vice president be the nominee or an open process. And the assumption that you're making is that somehow if there's an open process, the vice president won't be selected.
Well, you know what?
And I'm saying, I think she very well may be, and she'd be a stronger nominee if that happens.
That's a really important point, because what I am hearing is that the people there, the reason there's so much anger about this idea of an open process is because there's a sense that the subtext of an open process is that at the end of it, the people who want the open process do not want Kamala Harris. I'm not saying this is what I believe. This is just what people are telling me, is that the subtext is that the open process means no Kamala Harris. So
that's the truth. People don't want Kamala Harris. And I'm glad CNN's being honest. It almost feels like there's a shift in the air. Don't you feel that? It's not just the cold, brisk air from your AC unit. We're talking about a momentous shift. Even Zuckerberg today was explaining that, when he saw Trump put his fist in the air and talk about fight after getting shot in the ear, that in his words, he said it was badass. Now, this could all be a psyop, the deep state coming in to sort of trick us into falling in line as they gain control under the guise of caring and unifying in order to muzzle and to, neuter Donald Trump and his efforts so that we continue their disastrous plans for the nation. But only time will tell. Now, I have more of that to show you, but I want to remind you, if you care about getting rid of your debt today, remember, it's not going to go away. You've actually got to tackle it head on. It's easy to get into debt with interest rates rising, the lack of ability to earn more money, cost of living is out of control. There's no shame to be in debt, but it is not a good thing if you ignore it, because it's just going to keep growing. That's why I have a time-sensitive solution for you today at donewithdebt.com. My friends there have a way that you can get rid of your debt without having to file for a personal loan or bankruptcy. It's actually amazing. And all you have to do is go to donewithdebt.com, click Vigilant News at checkout, and today you can get rid of your debt. That's all you've got to do, but don't wait because it's time sensitive. Now, as I mentioned, not only do you get rid of your debt, but here's what they had to say in their conclusions at CNN. Listen.
That's why people are so mad about it.
We are like minutes away from Hulk Hogan, Dana White, and Donald J.
All right, so who do they want to run against? Let's talk about that.
I want to say
so we can have an academic.
And you know what? You see something? I want to say something. This spirit that this guy has, you guys think this because he's drunk? He's not. This whole thing is like this. And he's drunk on the guys, the last time I was in a convention that felt like this was Obama 2008. Yeah, there's something happening where.
You just wrote a headline, by the way.
What's that?
You just wrote a headline.
Just like Obama, Trump is showing in this convention he has the capacity to alter the composition of the electorate. That is
the difference between 2008 and now, is that Obama was actually popular outside of his own party, and that's not the case.
I don't think we should overstate it.
Persuading Melania Trump in the convention hall for the first time, Phil Mattingly.
All right. Well, that's the conclusion there. And it goes on to explain in the article directly. Here's what he had to say. He said this. Van Jones said on his interview there, let me go to it. After CNN senior political commentator and former Bush official Scott Jennings expressed his enthusiasm, Jones remarked, I want to say something. The spirit that this guy has, you guys think it's because he's drunk. He's not. The whole thing is like this. Hey, guys, the last time I was in a convention that felt like this was Obama in 2008. You heard it. That's the energy we have today. If you're excited and you're pumped, drop a comment down below. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, you can subscribe directly to our Rumble and our X accounts at Vigilant News. Or to get these videos direct to your inbox, subscribe to our newsletter at vigilantnews.com. I'm Elijah Schaffer. Thank you for watching Beyond the Headlines, only on Vigilant News. Have a great rest of the week, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.